Hi guys, welcome back to another Alpha Updates video. This weekend at Solana Gaming Saturday, we've got Soliens. So these guys have got a Soliens DAO, and they use from the NFT sales and treasury, and it went towards two big games that I'm aware of, and that is Photo Finish 2. They've got some pretty big studs in that. You know, they've got the Astro stud, which is 9922, and that's one of the top 5. So they've got a big suite of that, and they've also got something like 400k in Star Atlas. So these guys are going to be big players in Web 3.0 gaming, Solana gaming this year. And it's going to be interesting to find out not only how they're going to be doing that, how they're going to be managing it, but finding out the DAO tooling. Because at Grape this week, we've shown a video. We've spent over, at the moment, 250 Solana on our stud and fillies, and getting some floor studs to get towards our stables. So I'm very, very keen to get these guys on stage and see how they go. So that should be a good segment. I'm really looking forward to it. Probably had one run too many last week, and the missus got me a little bit pickled. So you know, like my missus, she's a good girl. She brings me the drinks in while I'm doing the show. It's pretty amazing situation. So a little bit too much last week though. STEPN jogging with Barndog, obviously Monday to Friday. Still doing these 5 days a week. Still do it on the weekends, of course. I go running and doing my jogging and that. But I just do that in quiet time and have a bit of a chill out. 3 days a week, we're still doing the Twitter events with STEPN. So been unlucky this week with the quiz contestants. Had a bit of probably had people that don't know the answers to them, so it's a bit disappointing. But they're Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Follow me on Twitter. Do whatever you need to do. But you know, these sneakers are super awesome. They're still 5-6 Solana. I love it. It's changed my life in fitness. I've got the missus onto it. I've got a 10-year-old onto it. I've putting family into it as well. Great photo finish. This was a great design drawn up by our designers. We've got such an awesome, talented team of designers and videographers at Grape. We're always growing. We just introduced a new fella this week. Amazing, great photo finish. We are doing that stable. Definitely awesome to see that. It's interesting seeing this is our Grape stable, right? But 4935 serial number, 4936 on the door. I wonder why that is. It was funny. Someone listed one of these private suites for 400 Solana during the week. So they got a free one for marketing, and they put it straight on at 400. And I'm like, that is dirty. Apparently they were, you know, asked politely and took it off, but just silly. Now, obviously, SpaceFalcon this week was the first Radium IDO that I haven't been in ages. Now, it's Solana Gaming, right? I don't know enough about SpaceFalcon, but I was going to enter and just forgot because it's 10 p.m. my time, and that night I had an early night. I was meant to do it in the morning, forgot about it. The mate said, "Do we get any winning tickets?" None of us got winning tickets, but it did really shit. So it was listed at 2 cents and 0.02, I believe. So 20% of a cent, so 0.002 went up to 0.0055 or something like that, and kind of petered off to 4 cents during the week. So sitting at the moment at 4.4 cent, 0.44 of a cent. So doubling a token, a game token that's only doubled. They've got huge numbers on their Twitter. So it kind of, does that mean there's not a lot of trust in the game, or there's not a lot of actual people following it, or Star Atlas is gobbling up all the metaverse, Star Warsy themed type people? Who knows? That doesn't show me a lot, but there's a lot of market sentiment, low market sentiment on the tokens at the moment, because obviously Bitcoin's dived and all of the gaming coins have dived. Some have dived harder. I was looking at the Aurora coin today. That's just gone down. It didn't even recorrect when you know, Bitcoin recorrected through the week as well. So it's really interesting watching those. Of course, GST at the moment currently just above $2. They had a double GST earning event for STEPN. That finished on Saturday, midday Sydney time, so that's GMT plus 11. And this week, you've got to make the judgment, you know, like GST's at $2, Solana's at $88. Is it a good time to maybe swap GST into Solana and take a little bit of profit? That's what I've done for a couple of days. Not a whole lot, but I've kind of thought, well, it would be nice to take 5, 10, 15 Solana out of the game, because the GST payments are pretty huge. So obviously I do 9 live events for STEPN. I don't have any extra information ahead of schedule. I do the AMAs. I take in questions. I'm speaking to the crowd all week long. through my jogging with Barndog event. So I'm getting, floor information from the people and finding out the good, the bad, the ugly, and all these awesome things. I love the project, but it's, you've got to work out. Sometimes it's good to take some profit and move it. But I think the coin's only going to go up, and in a market where all of the other gaming coins are depressed, but it's low market volume. So it's only 2,540 on the list, 500,000. So it is low volume at the moment, but super awesome. So I've been doing a bit of research in the Solana DAO. That's what this is showing. The NFT prices, I actually don't know their history. So I've got to have a look at it, and actually knowing that they've put such a huge amount of money into gaming and Solana gaming is pretty bad form on my behalf. I try to pride myself in doing well in the Solana gaming system, but there's just so much information out there to study. So very keen to find out about these guys. Vincent had his number 33 for the week. So the Shill magazine's come on board at Grape, and he's put out an episode every Wednesday and Sunday in Sydney time, or is he Sydney or Melbourne? But episode 33, he does really well with these. I really enjoy seeing through some of them. Now he chucked a video in there we had of the Grape Syndicate. We've got as well the Grape calendar was in there this week as well. So this is a really good production for Solana. And it's super awesome to have more great talent come into Grape Protocol. We've got the Daily Grapevine, Metaverse Explorer, Wales Friend, just to talk a few of the big projects. And we don't plan on stopping. We plan on helping Solana for as much as possible. It was interesting to see Remnants. This is pumped. So I've talked about these a couple of times through the week. I was looking at these guys last week when they were 2-3 Solana. I've spoken to Studward. Actually had a 15-minute call with him, and he's the kind of developer that makes me, rock hard. He sounded awesome. They are gamers. They're young dudes in their 20s. But they've got a developing team of 4 or 5. They are building out a pretty cool game and a big crowd. Now, it's only 4,000 male characters in the game at the moment. They haven't talked about whether they're going to introduce females. Well, it's not that they haven't talked about it, but it's going to be a DAO-led game. So the gamers are going to work out whether they want more NFT mints. They're going to work out whether they do females, whether they do breeding, grow it. But, you would think with 4,000 players, you're going to want to breed out more. But this has just gone absolutely ballers today. Specifically, I was having a look at it. I was looking at it earlier today. It was like 4 Solana. So it's doubled today. It's really cool to see that. I had a bit of a read of his thread. This came out today as well, this thread. And it talks about the utility of the game token. And it's interesting that they're actually, you can earn the game token, but there's no liquidity for it. So you can't buy and sell it at the moment. And there's a reason to it, is they want to build out the economy properly before they actually launch the token and liquidity for it. So they want to build a game for years. So these are very bullish things. And I wanted to pick up the game. We may get him at Solana Gaming Saturdays yet. Again, a horrible time for them. Actually, I think he is London. So he's only going to be 10 hours behind me. So the time would actually be pretty good for him. It'd be his 9 a.m., 11 a.m. for him. So hopefully we get them here. This was pretty cool to see. I love that video. So, don't know what they're doing. Thugbirds, Rustbots, Audius. I obviously try and keep my eyes on Audius. I think they're huge. Anything for decentralized media, that's a way for the decentralized artists to get paid more. I love it. So I listen to Audius pretty much half the day with DeFi Land because it's factored into the game. Talking about DeFi Land, actually, while I'm thinking about it, let's throw it in over here. There wasn't big news for the week. Still don't know when the NFT is coming out. But they had a bit of a link. They had, where is it over here? It's the, no, it must be on the back end. So they did have the Solana network status coming up. So you can click on that, sends you over to the webpage. They've always got things in the works and that getting worked on. I'm slipping in my leaderboard. I'm down in the 90s, so I'm still struggling to try and stay in the top 100 for the month because obviously I'm working and stuff like that. But I'm clicking on the old cows and that every 15 to 20 minutes. Hopefully soon. They talk about pets and stuff as well this week. I did see from one of the tweets. Fractal did an AMA. They're doing shitloads of AMAs with these games and these GameFi projects. They had an AMA with Portals, and it was a YouTube one. So they had actually 4 people on camera, and I liked it. I did like it. It was a good AMA. Portals is probably the premier metaverse project with land, with you get your shop space. They will be massive. They've got some of the big Solana names. 43 Solana. That minted at 1.5 in December somewhere. That was a good AMA to listen to. So it was funny seeing the Infungibles this week. We had them at Grape at Solana Gaming Saturday, the week just gone. Minted at 0.6 for the people that got the whitelist or the early advantage, 0.6. The main mint was 0.77. Even though Solana's dropped in price, they didn't raise their mint, which was super awesome. But I just don't know. It didn't sell me on it. They've got a playable mini game. They're playing out Solana. There's a pay to earn element to it, but it just didn't really sell me on it. So another game, KnifeForkSpoon. They're building out multiple games and they're doing pay to wins. It just kind of, and you can see then if the floor's dumped hard, that means there's just a lot of people going in for the rare mints, and this is a problem Solana has. How do we get it into players' hands? I think it was a fairly successful launch from what I'd heard with the fact that there was no problems. But yes, let's have a look here at Botborgs. Now, Botborgs is a funny one. I did warn people, don't think they won't sell out. They've oversubscribed, and it did. It sold out in 10 minutes. The floor went up, then the floor's kind of dived a little bit. Now, because I didn't get to mint, I set my alarm for about halfway through the mint. I thought, well, it won't sell out straight away. Unfortunately, it sold out. So now it's kind of made me, I've not minted, so I don't have a personal skin in the game for it. And there's going to be all these games this year that are coming out. Yes, they've got gameplay, but it's kind of, I think they oversubscribed too much. And, the highest holder distribution on Solana, it's now, I'm lost to it. I'm a gamer at heart. I want to mint in something. So it's very unfortunate that I had a whitelist, but I couldn't mint. I guess I should have gotten up earlier, but 24 hours a day, how hard we work. It was good to see this article they did, which was the Borgverse Chronicle 1. And this talked about what they did 24 hours after the game, and then talked about other people fudding the game. And they talked about how they use kit bashing as part of their team. And I'd never heard of what kit bashing was because I'm not a developer. I'm just someone that loves Solana gaming and loves to play games, right? So I'm learning about this as we go along as well. So they have a link into it about what is kit bashing.
It'll draft out a nice design. Not a problem. What you are looking for is called kit bashing. Kit bashing is the daughter of photo bashing, a technique where instead of creating an image from scratch, you combine pieces of different already created pictures to speed up the entire process.
So what it talks about, it was an article that you go and buy these kits of pre-developed genres, and then you build them and make the items and stuff you want. So it saves the developers thousands of hours. They're paying for people that have done these kits. It was a good read. I like it. I don't know a lot from there. We did have Botborgs at Grape. We did an AMA with them. They do have multiple teams working on it. Obviously, they've just sold 25,000 Solana worth of product, and there's been a lot of trading. Like, you look at the volume, 35,000 volume. What does a 5% artist royalty, so they're making 5% of that 35,000 Solana. So they're going to be making money. They'll be around for a while. They've got a metaverse part of it as well. As to where it goes from here, do I think it's going to be a medium-term game? Yeah, the gameplay looks awesome. They had so much content with like people creating their own rooms and houses, but unfortunately, it's not going to be one I take on from here. Let's have a look at Mysteria. They had their first launch. We're getting these guys in, I think it is my Wednesday. Check my Twitter and that. for an AMA because they've had their first game. They did 15 Solana prizes with 4,000 Sona. That's 15 cents a coin, I believe, last time I looked. Now, this was with their partners. So they were sponsors, Sonar Watch, Jupiter, Marinade, Saber, and that's Sonar Watch. What's the other one? Friction? I don't know who they are. So 630 contestants, 60 plus countries. They gave us some really great stats. They broke this down. They told us what was the hardest quiz. Unfortunately, there's not a release of what the quizzes were and the questions, and I'm really keen. I'm going to be going in to have a crack at this on the next one. The next one is going to be February 5th at 1500 UTC. Now, that's actually my 1 a.m., but I'm going to do it with my mates. We're going to put in a bit of a team and see whether we can be smarter than other people. Just see how we go. We're going to have a couple of drinks together and play this game. Don't know what the prizes are going to be, but we've got them coming into Grape for an AMA next week, so keep your eyes posted for that. A photo finish 2. Obviously, we're putting in the Grape stable. We're over 250 Solana spent at the moment. Listen to the AMA. There wasn't a whole lot about this. We were hoping for tokenomics to find out more information on that. Didn't. It was more about finding out about this this other game, Cubist Collective. It's not a game. Didn't really sell me on what it it's going to be a project of NFTs that they're going to have specialists looking at other content. You're going to be able to find out information. Go and have a look or have a listen. I was hoping to find out about tokenomics. It wasn't. But this breeding tool might be in the next week. So there's going to be some big news. Keep your eyes on Photo Finish and what's happening. It was a funny thing to have a look at. 13.6k followers on the game, Photo Finish 2, and 17.8k on the suites, which is the metaverse side of it. And you can see here from the picture, I've shown this before. This is from having a look at one of their higher end suites. You'll be able to watch the races on the live screen. You're going to be able to link up. They're doing links with Audius as well. We've got a Grape suite. We're definitely going to be in there doing social aspects and things and hopefully throwing it up on YouTube, doing some content. But the Cubist Collective, it was early alpha. I mean, Ian, when he came to Grape, he told us about the suites and actually gave us the alpha at the time. So they do give really good alpha. And listening to the suites back then at Grape when he came to us and did the AMA, you could have then gone and worked out, holy shit, all I need to do is to buy a 1.8 Solana stud. And, the suites minted and sold out and they were selling for 18 Solana the next day. So, 10 times your money in a day. But that's cool. KnifeForkSpoon, they had some dramas with the, Solana's had a few errors with the last week, some major dramas. And that caused an issue for their latest live event, and it meant that the dinner party didn't do prizes, but I think they're going to be doing 35 Solana of prizes the next week. And what's really funny is the NFT shot up into like the 4 Solana. I've got it linked on the side here. What are we looking at? KnifeForkSpoon, yeah, 4.8. 5 Solana, is it up yet? 4.4, so it's gone down a little bit, 10% down since I was looking earlier today. So, I think these guys minted around 1 Solana. So I bought one. I've got mine staked with wings. It doesn't really happen. The Golden Girls seem to win most of them. So, Chain Crisis raised 2.5 million. So, Chain Crisis is like an MMORPG metaverse. It's 2.5 million actually sounds low on fundraising, but that's a shitload of money, right? This is before they do mints. This is before they sell a coin or a token or do an IDO. Selenium's given me the shits lately. I've actually unstaked, but it's a 12-month unstake. It's just, unless you've got a level 4 in Selenium, it's just a pointless waste of time. It's really, I've won 2 tickets in that since the very beginning, since all of them. I've been in all of their launches, and it's just not worth my time. 2.5 million. Have a bit of a read. Chain Crisis. It was interesting seeing they're doing 10,000 male characters only. At the moment, that's a bit of a touchy spot. There's all this stuff about equal rights and feminists in gaming and all this kind of stuff. And I'm all for that. Just let gamers game, man. But it was interesting seeing, I saw an advertisement for one of 10,000 male characters. I guess it's kind of hard to mint both, but they talk about 2 different tokens. economic game loop. That was important. So 3 core economic game loops: work, customize, combat, and claim. The combat phase sounded automated at the start, and that's kind of super important because some of these games are going to come out and you're going to want to earn a return, of course. So automated combat systems are going to be a lot quicker to get them out. But the business district shows a bit of a picture. It's really hard to take away what the game's going to be about without, going through 3,000 Discords and searching every single game. It was a big one, but I wasn't super impressed about it. Sin City, they had a bit of an announcement for the business licenses. So, do you want to do something in this? Are you going to buy a business? I didn't have a great read of this. I watched a little bit of the video, and I'll put that on before. Sin City seems to have a really big, large following. Now, this is one I completely haven't read at all. But OpenEra, I studied these guys a fair bit. They've been one of the OGs in the Solana gaming space, right? They've been building since the very beginning. But we don't hear a lot of media on these guys. But they are popping up in the tweets a lot as of recent. So they've got a mini game coming out. And is it Erwin? Is that his name? I think I chatted to him early. I like what they're doing. They actually entered into one of the they entered in one of the hackathons and created a game for it. And it was a food chef. You go and kill monsters and get something off them for NFTs, and then you go and make your own NFTs. They did this for, a hackathon. So I'm impressed to see this. They're still building. They're talking about doing their first AMA. So I was going to try and see whether I could pop in for that. But that's OpenEra, and they plan on having a game that's cheap for people to enter into. So they're old RuneScape players, I believe. So super interesting with that. But really big week with Bitcoin going up to 39, and Solana looked like it was going to hit back to $100, and then it just dived in the arse again this week. So it went above $100, didn't it? I'm just looking at another screen now, $104. So that's going to be the wrap up for this one. Lots going on, so much going on. I haven't done my research video for the week, but this one here, I'm really keen to get Slan on Solana Gaming Saturdays. I'll control the rum intake this week. Special shout out to Moonman for the weekend. We got pretty hard on him there. I've uploaded the video for it. He held himself super well. So it's a good content creator with Final Frontier. But special shout out to him. He held himself really well on stage. And hope you guys enjoy. Thank you, Mother, for the rabbits.